on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett. Now a play fake here on first down. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening. Drive couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field. And didn't get it done. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
It's a big play there for the Lions. 43 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. The numbers are... A week ago for Johnson. 19 carries, 78 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll get this one to Galladay. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very...
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Bar is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And while teams don't like to talk about it, they're pretty proud of their rankings. But this ranking is going to be put to the test today because they're going up against a top 5 passing offense in this one.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And this one complete to Smith. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Set now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They begin the drive with Johnson. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On second down, Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Brissett from the gun on third. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see it's no race for the top spot. That's been decided. These guys will hope to get through Week 17 in one piece before they host a division round game in 2 weeks' time.
And I think that what they'll do is they'll be very selective about who plays in this game, all right? There's certain guys that maybe are starters, but maybe haven't played as much as other guys during the year. Maybe they still need their timing back. Other guys you're going to put in bubble wrap and put them on the sidelines and tell them we'll see you in 2 weeks.
On second down, Barkley. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Now back to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A well-executed 22-yard gain. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. He'll drop to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Jaron Davis, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. Eluding the pressure. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jalen Ferguson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now the set. Screenplay, Johnson.
You ain't doing nothing today.
A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And the catch made by Johnson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half. And he's got a 1st and 10. Here's a 1st down throw. It's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 36 yards on the play. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages. What are we going to do? Put a man on him. The big thing to...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall entirely out of the postseason if this final day doesn't go their way.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs because, fortunately enough, we're going to be there to call some of these games. But when you're sitting where they are right now, the playoffs start with this game. They can't wait till next week and say, well, let's see if we're... No, they have to win this one to ensure that they're going to go. So their playoff run actually begins a week early.
By the way, I got my assignment for the playoffs. They have me doing every game.
I like that.
Are you there, too?
I just hope I'm with you.
I hope so as well. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Throwing again on second down. Brissett. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A first down throw for Brissett. Open man is Galladay, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here are the next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Complete, Smith has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. A A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr. hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the 2, or I should say third and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 15 now. Brissett to the right and complete to Galladay. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. He'll return it from the 6. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, we're looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
Gets by him, and now a little daylight. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, his 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum, skirt filet steak, at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak. He scores 3 times.
Filet,
there you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Brissett now. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or two, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll run it again with Barkley. And an alley to run. And he's taken down inside the 30. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. On 2nd down now, Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
You better be afraid of me.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he's brought down. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Brissett, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 15. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Hey, you got 3 down, 3 down. Let's go.
Now Cook, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2.
Come on, boy. X3, 218, chop it. Shoot.
They're going to run it with Barkley. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Brissett. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Brian Anger now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A first down run from Barkley, pretty well defended. Give him 3 yards on the play. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Cook. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Chris Godwin with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. It's complete. And they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Final score now from Atlanta. And it was the Niners who were able to come away with a victory there. Jimmy Garoppolo, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. Completes this one to Meredith. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27. First down, Brissett. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Brissett. And that is incomplete here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual
it.
guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that